Thank you so much for joining us tonight in our event about scanning and 3D printing and why it makes so much sense now. My name is Nadia. I am from Digital Doc. I'm the Canadian manager for Digital Doc. I have with us today Arnold from Evident and Christopher from Roland. So we're all going to take a few minutes of your time presenting to you. We will have Chris at the end go over some of the ROI, and then we have made some time for questions as well. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the DigiDoc Census Scanner. All right, so every workflow with 3D printing has to start off with scanning. So what we have here is a DigiDoc Sensa scanner. It is a wireless model. All right. Now, some of you may already have scanners in your practice and are looking to add more scanners. This is a great option for that. And some of you may not have even embarked in the journey of digital scanning in your practice. And this is really, really exciting. I'm a registered dental hygienist. I've scanned a lot in practice. And I've seen how it has transformed conversations that I have with patients. The engagement level is something completely entirely different than what you are accustomed to if you haven't scanned before. If a patient sees their scan in front of them, they relate to it on a different level and they start telling you dentistry that they want. Sometimes it's not a good thing, but for the most part, it is a great thing. The level of engagement is amazing. I'm going to share my screen with you here. And we are going to just go over some points of the intraoral scanner we have here. So Digidoc Sensa is a wireless scanner. I know I mentioned that. It is so easy to use. So if you are new to scanning, this is a nice piece of equipment to put into the office because this allows the non-tech savvy people in the office and the tech savvy people all to be able to enjoy the digital dentistry. I was in an office a couple of weeks ago, and Sally was the rate limiter as to whether or not the office was going to enter digital scanning. Sally was, and this is not a made up name, her name was actually Sally. Sally was not very tech savvy and very resistant to change in the office. She was doing PBS impressions. That's what she was used to. That's what she liked. And Sally put this in her hand and started scanning. And it was amazing to see how quickly she was able to scan her first arch that she's ever scanned. She was able to do her scan in about a minute 40, which is actually really great for a new scan, somebody who's new to scanning. When I first scanned back in the day, I was way above that. Scanners have come a long way, and this particular scanner is fast, easy to use. And so that's one thing that I do love about about the Sensa scanner. So this particular scanner is calibration free. It is shock resistant. So we actually have videos online of people dropping the scanner and just turning it back on and using it. It doesn't mean that it's never gonna break if you drop it, which is why we have a 3-year warranty that does include one drop. All right. 10 terabytes of storage is included. And I skipped over it. One of the most important bullet points on this is that there's no fees with the scanner. And so that 10 terabytes of storage, you're not paying for it. It's already included in the price of the scanner. Okay, so you're looking at no subscription fees, no software fees. It is just a nice low cost scanner that performs extremely, extremely well. You have 4 reusable tips that come with the scanner that are autoclavable. You have virtual training included, and you have something called the oral health report, which we will get into very shortly. I am now going to take you into a live scan. All right, so we are going to start with a scan here. And I'm just going to scan an arch so that you guys can see the performance of the scanner. And I'm just connecting to my wireless device here. All right. So full arch, 19 seconds. So what I wanted to show you is workflow in here. So if I did my mandible, I did my maxilla, I did my bite, and I refined and finished the scan, I would send it to I'd be able to send it to the lab if I wished to. And I'm just going to go into a case that's already has both arches here. So what I would do is I could send it directly to a lab over here of my choice, add a little voice note for the office, and then just hit send, and my lab would be able to receive my case. All right. If I didn't want to, and the purpose of our seminar here today is 3D printing, I could directly send it to the 3D printer. I could send my scan directly there. So if I click on this icon that I have highlighted up here, it would allow me to directly send that to my Roland printer. All right. So there's something called the Oral Health Report, which is also another app with the scanner. The scanner uses scan data and then uses AI to analyze the data. And then what happens is it generates a form of a treatment plan. Okay, so this is actually a nice feature of the scanner. It does produce a report that looks like this. So patient comes in, you do the scan, you get AI to generate that report in the software, and then patient would scan the QR code, and this is what they would receive on their phone. So this is all data that they would get on their cell phone. They can zoom in, rotate, play around with the model. And they can do it by arch, zoom in, and really analyze what they don't typically see. The oral health report will also generate a shade guide if whitening is something that you focus on in your office. In addition, it'll also produce an ortho simulation for the patient as well. So if ortho is something that you offer, this is a nice way to talk about the ortho. The oral health report will also zone in on areas of concern. Now, these portions are all editable. So you can actually go in and change the description, change the suggestions so that you can align it to your practice philosophy. Okay, so this one, there were a few things that had to be addressed, and the suggestions were modified by the provider. So in short, scanning is super important these days. So we do have a majority of our dentists in Canada currently using scanners. If you've actually seen a scan of yourself, you can relate to how changing it is in the chair and how different it is for a provider to be able to speak to your patient when you are scanning. So the first step of 3D printing in the office is going to be scanning, but then we have something, the next step, which is design, which Arnold is now going to take over and talk about design with Evident.
All right. Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you. My name is Arnold again at Alliedstar. It's great to be here today with Sinclair Digital Doc and Roland to talk about why 3D scanning and printing makes sense in digital dentistry today and how each step in the workflow adds value for both dentists and patients. So let me quickly share my screen and introduce Alliedstar here. Okay. So we are a dental technology company specializing in CAD design and digital workflow solutions. Many of you know us as a CAD design center, but we're more than just a design service. So as part of this workflow, I'll be walking you through every smart CAD. We help clinicians work together efficiently, turning digital scans into accurate production-ready designs by integrating CAD into the scanning, milling, and 3D printing process. We ensure the production results are precise, functional, and aligned with clinical goals, all while saving the time and effort. To do so, we built this first AI-powered dental workflow platform where any lab or clinic can connect, collaborate, and scale regardless of their existing software or hardware. And our platform is called Alliedstar. Through Alliedstar, we connect our customers with their system, just as we can help you streamline integration with Digital Dog and Roland. And Alliedstar CAD is built to make this process efficient, integrated, and predictable. And here's how. So dentists can capture accurate scans using Alliedstar SENSA scanner from Digital Doc. And then to streamline your workflow and avoid the extra learning curve or overstaffing team building investment, you don't need to handle CAD designs in-house. Your scan files can be directly incorporated into our AVSmart CAD workflow for precise and production-ready designs. Then, designs can be prepared for production on Roland milling units and their 3D printers, reducing adjustments and ensuring high-quality results. By connecting scanning, designing, and production in a streamlined CAD workflow, dentists can focus on clinical outcomes rather than technical bottlenecks. So with digital dock scanners, Roland production system integrated, the process becomes faster and more reliable. As of today, Avis Market supports over 2,000 dental labs worldwide, 90,000 dentists through collaborative design workflows, leading manufacturers, including Carbon and Siga and major implant companies. On top of everything else, we also only COIS-certified partners dedicated to helping dentists grow by optimizing every aspect of their digital workflows. We do operate in 26 countries with offices in Seoul, South Korea, Bogota, Colombia, 3 locations in the Philippines, and lastly, our corporate headquarters is in Vancouver, Canada, where I'm currently based. Our main facility in BGC, Philippines, is home over to 400 professionals, including designers, dentists, technicians, and AI workflow specialists. Operating 24/6 across multiple shifts, this team supports cases from clinics around the world. So this global presence allows for real-time collaboration, even across time zones, which is critical for same-day dentistry and immediate loading, ensuring the best patient care. So you will see how every smart CAD enables you to design efficiently, collaboratively, smoothly, and deliver predictable results for your patients. Thank you, and we look forward to supporting you in streamlining your digital workflow and fostering growth, both personally and professionally in the near future.
So just play this. So yes, so as Nadia and first we have design, and then now we have evidence taking care. Or so first we have scanning, and then off to evidence to take care of our designs, and then now we want to make it. So you can definitely send to a lab initially. Some people like to outsource first once they get comfortable with scanning and using a design service. Others want to jump right into it. The design service allows us some hands off on part of the workflow, pass it on to the lab professionals and still get that same lab quality, capture and design. And then now we want to produce that lab quality in-house. And that's what brings us to Roland. So first, a little bit quickly about me. I have an engineering background. I've been with Roland for over 10 years in various divisions, 5+ on the dental side. And I'm responsible for sales and development of our dental business across Canada. Perhaps you've seen me at shows or other events. Myself, Sinclair, and the DigiDocs team, we try to get out to many events across this country of ours. And I'm located in Ontario. So wanted to do a quick audience survey. If you guys could just throw into the chat if you are scanning or designing or printing, simply just go to the chat and simply write scanning, designing, or printing if you guys are doing any of those things, just to get an idea of our audience here. Quick history on CAD/CAM, right? This is want this to be a learning event for you guys. So CAD/CAM goes all the way back to the 1950s, initially used by governments. Then in the 80s, we saw big companies like car companies start adopting it. And then, also in the 80s, we had our first 3D printer. Original patents to 80, and then 1986, probably the most famous one, co-founder of 3D Systems. 1985, Sarek launched the first dental milling machine. And then 1 year later, 1986, Roland came out with our first 3D milling machine, the PNC 1000 there. In the 90s, onto the hobbyists, where people started adopting it in their homes, at schools, at libraries. And this is where we first saw our first dental specific 3D printers and dental specific milling machines in the 90s and early 2000s. And there's a lot of general applications out there. Some of you might have children or no children with FDM printers. They're like hot glue guns, or at a local school or library. And people often ask, why don't I just use, something I can get off of Amazon or eBay or Alibaba? Although the technology is the same, when it comes to dental and dental applications, it's just not there for the materials and then how to properly cure those materials, especially when it comes to stuff that's biomechanical. You want to make sure that we are following all the proper FDA and Health Canada protocols. And that is where dental specific milling machines and 3D printers come into play. So we got this here, adapter die. You might know some of these brands, Blockbuster, Kodak, Taxis, Yahoo, Hudson's Bay, and the delivery guy. What do all these have in common? They have all did not adapt fast enough, and they've all been replaced one way or the other. So Blockbuster, of course, Netflix, Kodak with digital camera, Hudson Bay, potentially a victim of the internet, and Taxi with Ubers. So we don't want you guys to fall behind and become just a forgotten relic of the past. We want to help you adopt new technology and come into the 21st century with that. So then the question is, well, who is Roland DGA and why should we, hear what you guys have to say about your hardware? So we do have a background that started in music. Some people might know us from our musical equipment, synthesizers, keyboards, guitars. DD Shape Americas is our dental brand. It is a wholly owned Roland company. We are just the dental subsidiary. This allows us to have our own marketing, research, and development, specifically into the dental world. That's because Roland makes all kinds of other equipment out there in the marketplace, printers, non-dental milling machines, vinyl cutters, and more. And people often ask, well, why does that matter? And it matters because we learn things on these other pieces of technology that we're then able to apply to our dental equipment, allowing us to get the best possible machines. So, we have all these machine options, these software options, design options, right? Well, what do we do with all of those, right? We need the right solution provider. And that's where someone like Medline Sinclair comes into place. They are the ones who will tie in Digidocs, Evident, and Roland all together, provide that training and support throughout your user experience of all those products so that it is as smooth as possible. And that brings us to our 3D printer. It's a complete system, print, wash, cure, and there is quite a bit of resin that's included as well as a startup. We have model resin, and we have a Keystone starter pack that covers Keystone's top 5 resins out there in the marketplace. So as I mentioned, it's a full solution exclusively to Medline Sinclair. And it uses a 4K LCD screen with a build volume of roughly 7.5 by 5 by 7 inches. This is quite a large build volume, especially at this price point, with speeds up to 50 millimeters per hour. What does that mean? It's as fast as everything else out there on the marketplace and on par with its competitors. My favorite thing, and everyone's favorite thing though about this printer, is that it is an open architecture platform. And what does that mean? That means there are over 230 resins available for this printer. 230 plus dental resins. So whether you want to do permanent crown, night guards, splints, dentures, models, there is multiple resin choices for each of those applications and more. Help you visualize that build plate. You can see the ceramic coated plate on the left. The ceramic coating helps with biocompatibility as well as adhesion. There's no need to scuff up the plate or scratch it in any way to help things stick better. And we can see that stack of models there. That stack was done automatically. All those Evident models were simply imported all at once. Then with the click of one button, the software automatically stacked and created all of the supports there. So we're able to print all of those models at once. That works with other application types as well. What can you print? You can print everything. There's no dental application that you cannot print here. Got the most popular ones listed there. If there's something specific you're looking to print, feel free to drop it in the chat. As I mentioned, there are over 230 resins from over 35 manufacturers that are validated. What does that mean? That means we worked with each of those manufacturers to get the perfect settings for their resin so that you don't need to figure it out. You simply click, I want to do Keystone, I want to do a night guard. You click, and it's ready to go. The system comes with a 1-year warranty, and actually Sinclair Dental is tossing in the 2nd year of warranty on this package at no cost. That gives you the peace of mind that if anything goes wrong, they're not going to fix it. We will just swap it out. This printer, our machines are there to make you money, not to cause headaches and downtime. Our wash system, after you're done printing, you can take the whole build plate, put the whole build plate into the wash. A large blade will slice it across and automatically start the cleaning cycle for you, keeping the mess in the wash system, not on in your workspace or on your counter. Everything is self-contained there. The curing system, with so many resins, this printer actually does the 2 dental wavelengths, 405 and 385. Some units out there only do one or the other. This printer and this curing unit are capable of curing at both wavelengths, giving us a huge library of materials. The build volume is massive inside. It is able to cure everything that you have printed. And of course, the slicing software for this is included. No fees, no updates, no fees, no maintenance costs, updates provided free and just pushed over the internet. So 1 click is all it takes. Again, we have a 14 splints here, and we just simply brought them all in. 1 click, the software will automatically adjust the dental restorations for, to best be printed with splints. It's approximately 85-degree angle that we see here. And only 77 grams of material. So I simply, went on Google and I looked up Keystone splint material and clicked on a couple online stores I found with an average price of $750 for a 1 kilogram bottle. At 7 grams of splint, 1 bottle will give you 142 splints. That's including the wastage of the supports that are used. And if we take an average price of $250, that is $35,000 of revenue from 1 $750 bottle. Now, obviously, you can, that $250 number can be higher or lower. All of the currency here is in Canadian dollars that was used for this. And this material actually comes with the printer from Medline Sinclair. So you don't even need to buy it. It's all included. So now a little bit about our mills. We've talked about the 3D printer, right? From the SENSA to Evident, we can print or mill. And there's a variety of milling machines that Roland has. We have our very popular D series, our dry mills. Your lab, or if you are a lab, might be familiar with our product. And then our wet series, our wet mills for doing chairside materials such as GC, Lisi, or like an Emax type material can all be done on our wet mills. So again, just like our 3D printer, our milling machines are 100% open. We use open architecture again on this equipment, allowing for the material that is used in the dry mill as well as the materials used in the wet mill are both open standards and commonplace. So it's nothing, no unique sizes or proprietary shapes or anything like that. We use the universal mandrel on our wet mills, and we use the standard disc on our dry mills. So wet versus dry, 2 versus 1, or like a 2-in-1, right? It's going to come down to what material are you wanting to do? What applications do you want to do in-house? Do you want to do everything? Or do you want to just do simple crown and bridge things? right? So why a dry mill? Dry mill will come down to material. We're looking at zirconia, wax, PMMA, perhaps you're looking to do some dentures, or any of these other materials listed here. This is where we'd want a dry mill. So both of our dry mills, they are full 5 axes. What does that mean? That means that there is no undercut that they are not able to get. They will be able to fully mill all of your restorations. And our newest series is up to 40% faster than previous. And our dry mills come with 2 years of warranty, just like the printer, covering everything top to bottom, should you have any trouble. This is our next generation of mills here, the 53D and 53DC. If you're looking to do all on X, crown and bridge, implants, anything like that, these mills would be able to easily handle that. Some milling times when we get to large restorations, like a denture base or an all on X case, we can see here. About 1.5 hours for a denture base, denture teeth, an hour give or take, and an all on X, huge all on X zirconia case there. All done in short order. RPDs, these are becoming very popular right now, especially in Canada with the CDCP. We're seeing a lot of RPDs and dentures through that program. Now we have the 52DI. This is our entry-level mill. If you're just looking to do some crown and bridge out of zirconia, this mill is perfect fit, a little bit smaller, a little bit lower upfront cost. It's not going to be doing all on X and dentures, but for simple units, this machine is more than capable. And we got some zirconia milling times there for, we can see a nice molar bridge and just an implant crown there to give you some idea on times. Now we talked ROI once already, talk ROI again. Happy to discuss these numbers with you more in depth. But basically, when we look at the top there, if we're talking all on X cases and the money that we can come from that, we can break it out. And within 2 years, we would be paying off the machine and making some profit there. And then at the bottom there, same sort of math, but we're looking at single units. So based off of 3 discs and 36 units per month, we'd be able to pay off the machine and have quite a bit of profit there. And same thing with our 53DC. This unit, the 53DC, with the disc changer, is capable of a higher output, a higher throughput day to day and across the month. So our profit numbers there would be even bigger. This is why our machines are so popular in the lab and clinical space, which brings us to the DWX43W. This is our typically clinically focused mill, but also used in the lab space as well. Again, 100% open architecture. Take your Digidoc scanner from Digidocs to Evident and then to the wet mill. You can do same day restorations. Like I mentioned, that GC Lisi material, that is a lithium silicate that's already been hardened, and other pre-sintered and sintered materials as well. Materials such as Emax. Vita has a great line of materials as well. All of those mandrel-based materials can be done in here. And as well, if you're looking to expand into more complex workflows, higher value things, we can get into custom abutments as well on this machine. So compared to its predecessors, this machine has a lower running cost thanks to not needing any disposable filters. A lot of the maintenance things are done automatically. The machine will just let you know that it's done a cleaning cycle or it's done something else. And the CAM software is included. So once we take our Evident design, we need to tell the machine how to make it. And that's the CAM software. And that is included with the wet mill as well as the other mills. Now I mentioned doing custom titanium abutments. We currently support these 4 brands, with Des and Medentica being the 2 most popular in North America. You can bring custom titanium abutments in-house. 43W. Mentioned the CAM software is included. On all the CAM software we include with our mills, we include 2 years of updates as well. That way you can stay on with the latest strategies and material changes when you have the mill. Most common question, how long does it take to mill something? Here are some times. We can see on the left, we have some times for Emax and the picture of the crown that we have. And on the right, we have some other materials These are harder materials. This will give us times for things like GC Lisi, Syntrum zirconia, etc. And then at the bottom there, we have our custom titanium abutment. In as quick as 45 minutes, you can have a custom titanium abutment. Again, ROI on the 42W here. Happy to discuss this. This is based on 17 units per month. That's less than 1 unit per day on that. And this doesn't even include, the convenience of doing it in-house, the quicker turnaround time, having that control to have it done exactly how you want it done. So again, the wet mill, like all our other dry mills, comes with 2 years of warranty. The 52 DI, that starter mill, only has 1. So regardless of what you choose, whether it's milling, printing, whether it's Roland or not, the most important thing is the understanding between an open system and a closed system. A closed system is closed. You're stuck in their world. There are some systems out there that are closed, that are starting to quote unquote open up for a fee. Paying a fee to open up to each new material does not really sound like an open system. It is still a closed system. It is just even more expensive. Open systems out there, when it comes to printing and milling, they allow you the flexibility to choose what material you want to use. That way, as material continues to develop, printing and milling is, for the most part, maxed out for its development. It is all about materials now. We are seeing plastics and hybrid materials and materials that have already been fired or sintered at their manufacturing point. It is about materials now and not being limited by a closed system, having limited options. Anyways, that's all that I have to say. I thank you all for sticking around, for listening to me and your time. If we have any more questions, I think we'll open it up to questions right now.
Oh, Chris, one of the questions we got in our chat here is, what is the learning curve with the milling machines?
Thank you. That's a great question, very common question. Honestly, I would say it's quite simple, the learning curve. Using the milling machine is not any more difficult than using the SENSA scanner. And as we saw, the SENSA scanner is quite straightforward. Push a button, move it around. The milling machine, there is a small program on the computer that is your interface between the milling machine and yourself. And everything there is tracked so you can visually see tool life, when maintenance needs to be done. The machine can email you when things need to be done, when it is done working, or if there's a problem. I often tell people that, I used to teach elementary school students how to use our non-dental equipment. So if we can teach, anybody can use a milling machine.
Okay. Thank you, Chris. Any other questions from anybody else? Anybody motivated to take the journey of 3D printing? Okay, well, thank you for joining us tonight. If you guys have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out. And once again, you can reach out to your Medline Sinclair rep, or you can reach out to one of us directly if you have any questions. All right. Thank you for your time, everybody. Thanks for joining us this evening. Good night.
Thanks. Bye-bye.